Welcome to the first panel discussion for today. And today happens to be the third day of the Smart Cities India Expo. And out of the entire 3 days, I've been a part of various panel discussions, and this is the most interesting session that I personally look forward to for a variety of reasons, because today we are going to talk about something that we are surrounded by, which is waste. And we're not only going to just talk about the issues, we're going to talk about the action. We're going to talk about solutions. And that's why we have solution makers, policy makers, people who are driving change on the ground as a part of the panel discussion with us today. Uh, we were supposed to have two panel discussions this morning. One was on disposable plastic waste, now and the future, alignment to the sustainable development goals and circular economy. And the second was the integrated waste management. So what we have done is we've integrated these two sessions. We'll run the discussion for around 90 minutes, and along with all the speakers that we have with us today. So before I move on to the introduction, there are a few things that I would like to share with all of you for the benefit of a larger audience watching this right now, and whosoever watched the recording or watching this live on social media. Disposable plastic waste. The biggest issue creator of these three words is the word disposable, not plastic or waste. Because we have this mindset of things being disposable and this attitude of single use, that is the problem. We say that time and again. It's not the material, whatever material you use, whether it's plastic, paper, or any new material that comes up tomorrow. If our attitude is single use, if our culture is single use, it's going to create a problem, because then you're creating pressure on the natural resources. So that culture of single use needs to go away, number one. And disposable also refers to this concept of a linear economy, and we must transition to circular economy, which my fellow speakers will talk about in detail. uh, Before I move on to talk about, we all know this plastic problem. Plastic ko leke, we all have been so much sensitized. There's so many campaigns, social media, even the government agencies talking about it. But what is it? Is it just the plastic that is the problem, or the all kinds of waste material? So let's quickly watch a video first. I'll request the first video to be played with the right amount of volume so people can hear it well. So what you saw in the video, we didn't see just plastic, right? We see all kind of waste material getting in there. It's a ironical depiction of what if the pollution itself adapts to the sea and becomes a live creature. But the message behind that is very, very clear. Uh, the beauty, the name of this documentary made by an artist in Germany, is a result of linear economy, wherein we just want to consume, uh, just take, make, and dispose it. We're not thinking about recycling. We're not thinking about that becoming a material for a different industry altogether after its consumer life is over. In this video, you could see sneakers, rubber, tires, textile, and another reason of the leakage is also the value of the post-consumer material. So let's understand. Take an example. Think about a plastic bag or a plastic straw being thrown on the road, and think about maybe a aluminum can thrown on the road. The aluminum can is going to vanish within like 15 minutes. Why? Because the informal waste picker knows its value. It's not a can. It's a valuable material for him lying on the road. He's going to pick it up, make money out of it because it's going to a recycler. Right? Same is the case with PET bottles. But the low-grade plastic, the plastic packaging that we hear about, the multi-layered plastic, that is what is creating a major issue. So here, while we also want to talk about plastic in detail and the solutions related to it, the thing is, when that particular thing carries a recycling value, it is not going to be found in landfills and is not going to leak into our oceans, because that is money for someone, that is a resource for someone. So that's the kind of mindset that we need to change, because right before this discussion, we all were discussing uh, that it's the education, it's the mindset, which is the first thing that needs to be changed if we want to change what's happening to our oceans. Uh, Good quality plastic. You see this. We basically get almost everything in plastic packaging or a different kind of packaging, but mainly plastic. You will see things getting, whether you get detergents, whether you get cleaners, whether you get sanitizer bottles, these are all coming in plastic. But that's good quality plastic, which carries a recycling value and has high demand in the collection as well as the recycling industry. On the other hand, circular economy is a regenerative design and aims to decouple growth from consumption of infinite resources. So let's understand, obviously all our economies globally are based on the concept of growth. That's what we also knew when what happened during the COVID-19 crisis. It was the growth that was being impacted, which impacted people, which impacted money, which impacted economies, jobs, everything. So the growth has to happen, but growth has to be decoupled from the fact that we are going to consume resources infinitely. We need to regenerate the resources. We need to consume them into the cycle again so that the dependency on the new or virgin resources goes down significantly. Uh, the transition, the transition from linear to circular economy will create benefits on the triple bottom line. So let me explain quickly what is the triple bottom line when it creates benefits socially, environmentally, and economically. If we are going to transition, let's take an example. It will create jobs. There'll be reduced load on the virgin material, so it is environment friendly, and it is also going to, eventually, there will be less cost of procuring the raw material for the industries because they're recycling the content and they're not looking for virgin or fresh content. Uh, what I see as the way forward for solving the plastic waste crisis or overall the issues related to the current ways of operating the linear economy that we live in, I think we firstly need to relook at the design of the things. Our supply chains need to be reassessed, rethought from the basis of that whatever is being produced has to be, we need to think in advance what's going to happen to it after the consumer has consumed it. Is that material going to get recycled? See, that's the problem. Plastic was a wonderful invention, they say. But we never thought about its recycling from point one. We are only in this decade, the 21st year of the 21st century, the aggression on plastic recycling has started to come in. It's never too late. So, I definitely want to be very, very hopeful about where we're heading. In the way forward, the next big step is going to be planning for things to be recycled, planning for things to be as a raw material for the another industry, and for all of these steps to be integrated. So see, they're policymakers, they're solution makers, they're people working on the ground, they're entrepreneurs, they're government bodies. If they all continue to work in silos, we are not going to solve this problem. We need to make sure they all come together, put in an integrated effort to solve this problem.